Introduction. My name is Mia. I work as an assistant. My boss is Mr. Daniel. He is the CEO of the company. He is a serious man. He is also handsome. My life is simple. I go to work, I do my job. It is a professional life. Nothing much changes. I like my simple life. One day, Mr. Daniel asks me to come to his office. This is normal, but today he looks different. His face is not serious in the usual way. He looks worried. He asks me to sit down. He starts to talk about something personal. This is not normal. He tells me about his grandfather. His grandfather was the owner of the company before him. His grandfather wrote a will. A will is a paper that says who gets things when a person dies. The will says something important about the company. Mr. Daniel must be married before his next birthday. If he is not married, he cannot inherit the company. He cannot be the CEO anymore. His birthday is soon. This is a big problem for him. He needs a wife quickly. But he does not have a girlfriend. He does not have time to find a wife and get married for real in a few months. He needs a solution. Then he looks at me. He says he has an idea. It is a strange idea. It is a shocking idea. He asks me to marry him, but not for real love. It would be a contract, a marriage contract for 1 year, just on paper. After 1 year, we would get a divorce. In exchange for this, he would give me a lot of money, a very large sum of money. I listen to him. My eyes are wide. I cannot believe what he is saying. Marry him, a contract? For money, it feels crazy. It is a very strange and sudden idea. My mind is spinning. My simple, professional life is suddenly not simple anymore. I look at Mr. Daniel. His face is serious again, but his eyes look hopeful, or maybe just desperate. He waits for my answer, but I cannot speak. My mouth is dry. I feel completely stunned by his words. This is not a normal thing to ask an assistant. I stand up from the chair. I cannot accept this idea. It is too much, too strange, too crazy. I shake my head slowly. I cannot do it. I do not say anything. I just turn around. I walk out of his office. I leave him sitting there. I refuse his offer. My heart is beating very fast. I need to get away from this crazy idea and go back to my simple life. 2. A hard choice. Mia went home. Her head was full of Mr. Daniel's offer. She walked around her small apartment. A marriage contract, for 1 year, for a lot of money. It felt unreal, like a story from a book, not her simple life. She could not stop thinking. Her world felt upside down. Then her phone rang. It was her mother. Mia smiled, happy to hear her voice. But her mother sounded different. Her voice was weak and quiet. "Mia," her mother said slowly, "I am not well." Mia felt a sudden, cold fear. "What is wrong, Mom?" Her mother told her about visiting the doctor. The doctor found a serious sickness. It needed special medical treatment very quickly. and the treatment would cost a lot of money. A very, very large amount. More money than their family had. More money than Mia could make in many years. Mia's heart felt like a heavy stone in her chest. Her mother was sick. She needed help now. But the money, where could they get so much money? Mia felt completely helpless. She felt broken. She wanted to cry loudly. Her dear mother was in danger, and she could not help her. She sat down slowly. She thought about her mother's face. She thought about the large number her mother said for the treatment. Then she thought about Mr. Daniel's offer again. The large sum of money he offered. It was exactly the amount her mother needed. It was a terrible choice. Her heart felt sick at the idea of a fake marriage. But her mother's life was more important than her own feelings or dreams. This strange offer was the only way to save her mother. She had to do it. It was a sacrifice. The next morning, Mia felt tired, but she was strong inside. She went to the tall building where Mr. Daniel worked. She went to his office door. She took a deep breath. She knocked. He said, "Come in." Mia walked inside. Mr. Daniel was at his desk. His face was serious as always. Mia stood in front of him. Her voice was a little shaky, but she spoke clearly. "Mr. Daniel," she said, "I have thought about your offer." She looked at him. "I accept." Mr. Daniel nodded slowly. He did not look surprised. He took some papers from a drawer. "Okay, Mia," he said, "this is the contract." He pushed the papers across the desk to her. "Read it carefully. It explains everything." He looked into her eyes. "Remember the most important rule, Mia. This is business. It is for 1 year. There will be no real feelings. Nothing more. Is that completely clear?" Mia looked at the papers. She saw the words marriage contract. She saw the large number of money. She heard his rule, no real feelings. She thought of her mother needing help. This contract was the key. "Yes," she said, "it is clear, no feelings." She took the pen he gave her. Her hand trembled a little. She signed her name on the line. It felt like signing her life to a difficult path. But it was for her mother to save her. The contract was signed. The hard choice was made. 3, our new life. 1 week passed quickly. Then we were married. It was a very small wedding. Only a few people were there. It was private. After the wedding, my life changed completely. I moved into Daniel's apartment. It was a penthouse, very high up in the city. It was beautiful and very big, but it felt cold inside. It did not feel like a home. Daniel and I lived in the same apartment, but we lived separately. We had different bedrooms. He had his room, and I had my room. We did not share a life like a real husband and wife. This was our new life together, but alone. Soon, we had our first important event. It was a dinner for Daniel's company. Many important people from the company were there. This was our first time appearing as a married couple in public. I felt very nervous. Everyone looked at us. Their eyes followed us around the room. I felt like I was on a stage. During the dinner, a man came to talk to us. He was a board member, an older man named Mr. Henderson. He was not nice. He said something rude to me. He did not speak to me with respect. Daniel saw this. He reacted immediately. His face became serious. He stepped closer to me. He put his hand on mine and held it tightly. His hand felt warm and strong. He looked at Mr. Henderson. Daniel's voice was firm and clear. He said, "Mr. Henderson, this is my wife. Please speak to her politely." He defended me. He showed everyone that I was important to him. In that moment, holding my hand, his protection felt real. It was not just an act for the company. It felt like he truly cared. My heart felt something strange. It made my heart jump a little. It was a surprising feeling in our new, cold life. 4. A fake couple. Living with Daniel in his big apartment became a quiet way of life. It was our new routine. We went to work together every day. We came home together in the evening. In the apartment, it was often very quiet. We had separate rooms, separate lives inside the same home. It was a secret marriage, just for 1 year. We had to act like a real couple sometimes, especially in front of other people. This was part of the contract I signed to help my mother. Our life together was mostly silent. Daniel was busy with his work. I was busy too. We ate dinner sometimes, but we didn't talk much. It felt strange, living with someone but not really being with them. We were like two people sharing a space, following rules. One night, we had to go to a special event. It was a gallery opening, a party for art. Many important people from the company were there. I felt a little nervous again, like at the company dinner. We walked into the room together. People looked at us. Daniel kept his face serious, but he stayed close to me. Then a woman came to me. She was very beautiful and wore expensive clothes. Her name was Isabella. I knew that many people thought she would marry Daniel one day. She looked at me with cold eyes. She spoke to me, but her words were not kind. She said something bad. She asked me, "How much money did Daniel give you to be his wife?" Her words were loud enough for some people nearby to hear. My face felt hot. I didn't know what to say. But before I could speak, Daniel was there. He came very fast. He put his arm around me, around my waist. He stood close to me, looking at Isabella. His face was very cold now, colder than I had ever seen it. He spoke to Isabella in a low, strong voice. "Isabella," he said, "you will be polite to my wife." His arm felt strong around me. It felt real. He didn't wait for her to answer. He gently took my hand and led me away from her, away from the people watching. We walked to a quieter part of the gallery. He stopped and looked at me. His face was not cold anymore. He looked worried. "Are you all right?" he asked me. His voice was soft. I looked at him. His arm was still around me for a moment, Then he let go of my hand. Was this part of the act? Was he just protecting his name, his company? Or did he really care if I was okay? It was hard to know. The line between our fake marriage and something that felt a little real was starting to get very blurry. I didn't know what was true anymore. 5. A real moment. One evening, late at night, I was walking past Daniel's room. His door was open a little. I saw him sitting by the window. He looked very sad. It was strange to see him like this. Usually, he was strong and serious. I stopped for a moment. Then I walked to the door and knocked softly. He looked up, surprised to see me. His face was tired. I asked if he was okay. He just looked out the window again. I walked into the room quietly and sat on a chair a little distance from him. We sat in silence for a short time. Then he started to talk. His voice was low. He told me about his father. He said his father was a very kind man. He was not like his grandfather. His grandfather only thought about business and money. Daniel said he felt a lot of pressure from his grandfather. He had to be perfect, like a machine, for the company. It sounded like a heavy weight on his shoulders. He talked for a long time. I just listened. It was the first time he showed me this part of himself. He was not just the strong CEO. He was a person with feelings and problems. When he stopped talking, I felt I understood him a little better. I told him that his father sounded like a good man. I said it is okay to feel pressure, but he is not just a machine. He is a good person. He looked at me then. His eyes were different, not cold or serious. He said, "You are very different, Mia. You are honest. You are real." He said that is why he thought of me for this contract. Because I was not like the other people he knew, the ones who only cared about money or status. The air in the room changed. It became very quiet but strong. He moved closer to me. He looked at my face, then at my lips. My heart started to beat very fast. He leaned in slowly. I thought he was going to kiss me. For a moment, I forgot about the contract, about the rules. But then he stopped. He pulled back quickly. His eyes closed for a second. When he opened them, the serious look was back, but there was something else there too, like pain. He spoke softly. "We have rules, Mia, remember." The moment was broken. The air was cold again. I felt a sudden sadness. He was right. We had rules. No real feelings. I stood up. "Yes," I said, "rules." I turned and walked to the door. I did not look back. I left his room and went to mine. I felt the coldness of the contract, but I also felt something new, something warm and hurting in my chest. It felt like the paper contract and my own heart were starting to break. 6. The big problem. After that night, Daniel changed. He was not warm like before. He became distant and very quiet. He did not talk much to me at home. It felt like he built a wall between us again. I did not understand why. Maybe the moment we shared scared him. Maybe he just remembered our rule, no real feelings. My heart felt a little heavy because of this distance. Then, one morning, a big problem started. It was like a storm. A website that writes news about rich and famous people published a story. This story was about us. It said our marriage was not real. It said we had a secret contract, a paper that said we were married for only 1 year. The worst part was the website showed a picture. It was a picture of our contract, the paper we signed. Everyone could see it was true. Daniel was incredibly angry. I had never seen him so angry. His face was red and his eyes were dark. He called me into his office right away. He did not look at me kindly. He looked at me like I was a stranger, or worse, an enemy. "You did this," he said, his voice loud and hard. "You told them, you gave the story to the website," he accused me. He thought I was the one who showed our secret contract to the world. "No," I said quickly. "I did not. I would never." My voice was shaking. His words hurt me very much. His not trusting me was like a sharp knife in my heart. He did not believe me. "Why?" he asked. "Did you do this for money? Did you hurt me for money?" His words were cold and full of anger. My eyes filled with tears. The man I thought I was starting to know, the man who almost kissed me, was gone. This angry stranger stood before me. He thought I betrayed him. He thought I was bad. "Get out," he shouted. "I don't want to see you now. Get out of my office." I could not speak. I could not defend myself anymore. His anger was too big, his distrust too strong. I felt completely broken. I turned and ran out of his office. I ran away from the building. I was very, very sad, and I did not know what to do. 7, I fight for him. I stayed in my old apartment for some days. I felt very bad. My heart was broken into many pieces. Daniel thought I did a terrible thing. He thought I sold our secret to the newspaper for money. He did not trust me at all. His words hurt more than anything. I felt so alone and misunderstood. Then I heard some news that made my sad heart beat faster. It was bad news for Daniel and his company. The important men who work for the company, the board members, were having a big meeting. They were very angry because of the newspaper story. They wanted to make Daniel leave his job right away. They wanted to fire him. When I heard this, I felt a strong feeling come inside me. It was like a fire started in my stomach. I could not let them do this to Daniel. He did not do anything wrong with the company. This was not fair. I knew then that I must help him. I must fight for him, even if he did not trust me. I could not let them ruin his life and take his company away from him. I left my old apartment very quickly. I went to the big company building. I walked fast and straight. I was not scared anymore. I was determined to speak. I walked to the room where the important meeting was happening. It was a big room with a long, dark table and many chairs. I opened the door quietly and walked inside. All the important men sitting around the table looked at me. They stopped talking suddenly. The room became very, very quiet. I saw Daniel sitting there at the table. He looked down at his hands. He looked very sad and tired. He looked like he had lost everything important to him in the world. My heart hurt again when I saw him look so defeated. I walked closer to the table. I stood in front of the men. I took a deep breath and started to talk. My voice was a little shaky at first because I was nervous, but then it became strong and clear. I told them about the marriage contract. I said yes, the paper was real. Daniel needed to marry because of his grandfather's rule in the will. It was a business agreement at the start. But then I said something else that was very important. I looked at Daniel, then I looked at the men's faces. I told them that my feelings for Daniel were real. I told them that I loved him. I said it was not just a paper marriage for me anymore. My love for him was true and strong. Then I looked at one man sitting at the table. It was Mr. Henderson. He was one of the oldest and most important men on the board. I said his name clearly for everyone to hear. I told everyone in the room that Mr. Henderson was the one who told the story to the newspaper. I said it was his fault that the scandal happened and hurt Daniel and the company. He looked very surprised and angry that I said his name. The other men looked at him too. I finished talking. I did not wait for anyone to say anything or ask questions. I did not look back at Daniel or the men. I turned around and walked out of the room. I left all the men sitting there. They were very surprised. They did not speak. The room was completely silent as I left. I left them in shock. I had fought for Daniel. I had told the truth to the important men. Now I did not know what would happen next, but I felt a little brave. I had tried my best to save him. 8, our real story. I was in the big, quiet penthouse. My bags were packed and stood by the door. I felt a mix of sad and ready. Ready to start my life again, away from here, away from Daniel and our fake marriage. I looked around the beautiful, cold room one last time. This was not my home, not really. Suddenly, the door opened. It was Daniel. He walked in quickly, then stopped when he saw me and my bags. His expression changed. The usual serious look was gone. He looked tired, maybe a little scared. He walked towards me slowly. "Mia," he said softly. His voice was different, not the loud voice from his office. Mr. Henderson confessed everything. He told everyone he leaked the contract papers. I just stood there, holding my breath. I didn't know what to say. My heart was beating fast. He came closer, standing right in front of me. "I don't care about the company now," he said, surprising me. "Not like I did before, all that pressure. It doesn't matter." He looked deep into my eyes. "Only one thing matters to me now, Mia. It's you." He saw the contract papers on the small table near the window. The paper with the rules, the one that said our marriage was fake. He walked to the table and picked up the contract. He looked at it for a moment, then he started to tear it. He ripped it slowly, carefully, into many small pieces. The pieces fell to the floor like white rain. "The rules are broken," he said, looking at the torn paper. "The no feelings rule, I broke it first." He looked back at me, his eyes shining. "I fell in love with you, Mia. I fell in love with my fake wife." Tears started in my eyes. They were not sad tears this time. They were happy tears, warm and fast. He smiled through his own tears. Then he did something I never expected. He got down on one knee, right there in the middle of the room, among the pieces of the contract. He took a small, dark box from his jacket pocket. My heart jumped. He opened the box. Inside, on soft blue velvet, was a ring. It sparkled with a beautiful, clear stone, a real diamond ring. "Mia," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "will you marry me? For real this time? Will you be my real wife?" I couldn't speak right away. My throat felt tight with happiness. I nodded my head quickly, tears still falling. "Yes," I managed to say, my voice a little shaky. "Yes, Daniel, I will marry you." He stood up and gently took my hand. He slid the beautiful ring onto my finger. It fit perfectly. He held my hand tightly, his thumbs softly touching the ring. He smiled at me, a big, happy, real smile. "Our fake story is finished," he said. "Our real story, it is just beginning now." I smiled back, my heart full. My bags were forgotten by the door. I didn't need them anymore. This penthouse, this place, was going to be my real home now. With Daniel, our real life together was starting.